castmates. A few of them are like my best friends, so that's really fun. So yeah, Rachel, who is the actor's name is Corinne Wagner. She's a friend of mine, and we went to school together. So that has been, we went to college together. So that has been so fun to work with a friend. And then my sister Tiffany is one of my newer friends in life. And so that has been so fun to be able to work alongside these two ladies that I love and just adore. And I think when you share a common bond of what you want to do in life and just acting, it's just fun to be able to do that together. So getting to create a story together and share a story with people, I've loved working with them. And then there's been new people, and
Rachel is such a complex character who has been through so much. She has a very dark past, and at the point that this story begins, she has learned how to use her past and create beautiful music and tell stories through her songs that she can then relate to and with the audience using her stories. So it's been really great just to learn how to play such a complex character and learn to relate to the audience along with her. I went to college with Meg Biddle, who plays Karen, and we were theater majors together, and she told me about this project and that our director John Michael was in need of a character to play Rachel, and she asked if I would be interested in doing it, and I said of course. It was really exciting playing Rachel Dawson, stepping into her shoes. She has a very dark, complex history, and I personally don't come from that, and so it was really tragic but tragically exciting to figure her out and to sit down with the lines and really just put myself in her shoes and figure out her path and everything that it took to get to where she is today, and how beautiful and amazing it is that she has come through everything and is learning to create this beautiful music in which she is telling her story. Like, that, isn't that what we do as storytellers? We're able to reach our audiences by lots of stories, and I believe that the best ones are from the ones that we have experienced personally. And so I love that Rachel uses her music to reach her audiences and to tell her story. I think that's just absolutely beautiful, and it's been so fun exploring with that.
A big portion of this film was the music, you know, who's going to do the music. Maggie Dukes, who was also in our film, she played Leah, the character Leah, the trainer. She wrote 2 of the songs in the film. Meg's solo song, Girlfriends over Broadway, and the duet song, which Corey and Meg sing together. No. Meg and Corey actually wrote that song themselves. Maggie also wrote Corey's solo song. Sorry about that. Maggie wrote Corey's solo song as well, and she wrote them literally in about 20 minutes and just sent them to me, and I was just like, this is incredible. I mean, I was very, very grateful to have Maggie a part of this, and we gave her a role in the film as well. I had worked with her previously on a short film that our friend Paul Glaze directed called Mixed Messages, and I starred in that with her and had a great time filming that, and I knew I always wanted to work with Maggie again, and I finally got the chance to, on a much grander scale than I thought I would be, actually.
I have been singing my whole life. I was in my first musical at 4 years old. I've taken voice lessons my whole life, been dancing, been playing piano on and off, a little bit of guitar here and there, and then I was a musical theater major in college, so we studied all different types of voice. We sang just basic musical theater and pop and jazz, and as well as classical arias in foreign languages such as Russian and Italian, and that was an exciting chapter of my life. Not exactly where my passion for voice lies, but it was fun and stretching to learn. And in this project, it's been cool to film-wise incorporate music, because I've always done just straight TV film commercial, nothing having to do with music, and I've always been very passionate about music, so it's been very exciting to be a part of a project in which we're able to sing and in which that is incorporated to it. I love Rachel and Karen's relationship. It's so beautiful to me and felt so real acting alongside Meg with those scenes, because we very much have a Karen-Rachel relationship, except it's definitely the other way around. Meg is older and wiser than me, and this past year, moving to Atlanta, I was truly like wide eyes, had no idea, you know, really where to break in the industry here, didn't have any friends, and Meg definitely just took me under her wing, and she introduced me to people and helped me build this amazing community, and has already helped me through so much, and just truly is a friend that I'm incredibly grateful for. And similar in this story, Rachel very much takes Karen under her wing, and so it's just been funny exploring the reverse of our reality and our friendship.
But I learned self-respect. I found God and was rescued by a group of people who truly cared about me. Soon after that, I became a completely different person. That's me in a nutshell. So, tell me, what is it about me and my music that inspires you so much?
Well, you just have a way of making people believe what you're singing. You're so heartfelt, and it's like you pull people into your story, and you give them more than a good performance and a nice song. You give them hope.
So do you. You just have confidence. Your boyfriend stole your joy because you place most of your identity in him. We're going to get it back.
So the fight scene was really fun. The director from the beginning had said that he was interested in doing a fight scene, and I had already been interested in learning some boxing. So early on, Corey and I got together and decided that we would hire a trainer and start learning some boxing. So we did that, and oh, it was so fun. It was fun to learn how to jab and cross and hook and uppercut and all these kicks and stuff that we did. It was really fun. And so we were able to carry that over into the film and into the scene. And I loved doing my own stunts. I want to do more of that. So I think that's one thing that I am interested in. And so it was really fun to be able to be given the opportunity to fight and do my own stunts and try something new in that area. So yeah, maybe there'll be more of that in the future. So it has been fun to sing in this project. I sang in high school and took a couple classes in college, but my training has not continued since then. So being comfortable with my voice was not really, it's not a strong suit of mine. Something that I would love to get back into and grow, and it's a desire of mine to strengthen that part of myself as an actor. I love singing and dancing, but I have been focusing more on acting. So yes, I loved being able to get into the studio. That was really fun and also weird and new, and even just spending time with Corinne and who I call Corey, but anyway, spending time with Corey and writing some music and just enjoying each other, and it was fun. It was fun. It was hard. It was different. It was new, but something that I enjoyed nonetheless, and something I would love to continue to do, but not necessarily as natural, I think, as maybe other things to me.
All right, so. This film was the first anything really that I actually sang in front of actual people before. I never really went out of my way to sing on my own in front of even my family, friends, whatever. So this was a little bit out of my element. But John Michael had been looking through, I think we spent like weeks figuring out what music would be best for everybody. But I remember the day he was like, we're doing music. And I've already got the song for Scotty immediately. And I was like, I couldn't wait for that. So he's like, boom, we're doing this from the Muppets. We're doing, I Can Give You What You Want, Cockatoo in Malibu. I had listened to it. I had already seen, the film and stuff. And I was listening to it. And I was like, dude, this is exactly what Scotty would go with. And we're going through it. And we'd practiced, we'd filmed it. But we kind of, it got to the point where we just weren't able to use some of it, and we decided that we needed to go with something a little bit different, something more talent showy, I guess you could say, something more, I guess, serious a little bit. But I think the second song we went with was just as good, if not better. Him teaming up with one of the people he knew, John Michael was able to score us some music that we could use. One of the songs called 500 Miles, and being able to listen to that song, singing it in front of everybody, actually listening to some of the lyrics and stuff, I really enjoyed it. I loved the song completely. It was one of the few songs that I actually was like, you know what, I dig it. I dig it. But singing wise, being out there compared to like, Karen, Rachel, like Scotty, compared to those two, even some of the other combatants, I was like, I don't even know how I'm even gonna stand up to these ladies. I don't even know. I'm just here for the ride and hope for the best. But I liked the opportunity to be able to kind of step out of that comfort zone, and it really helped me grow with not just the character, but as myself. Being able to step out of boundaries.
Tristan Crow, he's just, wow. He is just, this entire cast brought something to the table, absolutely. But, his character is just, I have such an incredible time working with him. He is a director's actor. Many times he said, he doesn't say it on this interview, and he doesn't have to, but many times he said about me, I am an actor's director. That, I'm able to, as an actor myself, I'm able to, work well with actors when I'm directing. And I consider Tristan, I consider him an actor's director, right? No, yeah, he's a director's actor. Sorry. And he's just one of those people where when he shows up on set, I have learned about Tristan not to limit him to my writing. I have just learned from the picture that we worked on together beforehand. I have just learned to just let him do his thing, as I did with most of the cast. all but maybe 2 of the scenes that we shot where he was pretty closely onto the dialogue that I wrote, all but 2 of those scenes were pretty much improv. The scene that he and Levi had, his and Kate scene, his and Darby scene. I mean, the very first scene where he shows up in the Fiesta hat and all that kind of stuff when Karen and Rachel approach him for the first time. I gave him direction, but most of that was improv. I mean, most of that was, or at least he improv'd on some of the lines that I gave him and kind of just added his own little punchlines in, and I'm just like, this is great.
He's an interesting guy. He really is. I feel like we should hang out more because we seem to have a lot in common. Like he's a bizarre fellow, but I mean, he's awesome to work with. He's really like dedicated. I mean, when we were recording his song, you know, we would just go through take after take because it was a difficult song to film, and you know, he was just like, you know, we'll keep going until we get it. But I love his passion, his energy, and his sense of humor is great, and you know, it makes for a really good character in Scotty.
So we did a romance picture together.
Yeah, the silent film that you had set up.
Wandering Hearts, with Marie and Jeremy and all.
That's right.
And I just was so impressed with your performance as the abusive boyfriend, and just how much light you brought to that character. And you know, it was really. To the people that I talked to about it, it was odd for them to imagine you in a comedic role, but I believed in it and I believed it was perfect. And now people that have seen this are just like, yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was, because I remember like doing this film. Like I love being funny, I love being all this kind of stuff. I love being out there. Doing that silent film though, going from that to this was like so different.
Oh gosh. Yes.
It was like. Because I'm normally not too mean, I try not to be, but then doing that and then like going to this was like such a big change. Where it was like you don't need to be doing some of these things. You need to be doing like get more light, get more flamboyant, get more out there, jump around, do some stuff, be active. And I was like, you know what, I like that. It was great. And
it's all about being able to know your talent and know your actors and know their talent. And I knew that you were so irreplaceable on this project. Like there was nobody else that I could have gotten to do what you did on this project. And and we're looking forward to the next two, three.
I cannot wait.
I mean, I just hope my writing does you justice.
Well, I read that script.
So I've just learned to and the whole the scene with him and Levi, Stevie Boy. That I pretty much I had a scene kind of in mind that I wanted them to do, but I pretty much just told Tristan, I just said, this is the idea of the scene, go for it. Just say what you want to say. And they did. And that was our scene. I mean, there's very little work that I have to do with Tristan. If he knows his character, he's got an amazing sense of comedy. He's got an amazing sense of just knowing how to say the right things. And there's a little montage that we did, kind of like a day in the life of Scotty kind of thing, where we must have dressed him into, I don't know, 20 different wardrobes, and I think we only ended up using maybe 5 of those little snippets, and we put together in a little montage. And it just has so many different personalities, and I could not have directed or controlled that anymore. I could not have done a better job than what he did, and I was just so impressed with his performance. And man, I can't wait to work with him again.
Getting started with this project was actually really interesting because I had worked previously with John Michael before doing a silent film known as Wandering Hearts, where I played an abusive boyfriend. It was a very out of the place role for me. I'd never done anything like it before. One of my first acting kind of gigs at all, doing it all, and being so far out of my element. He really enjoyed it from what he had told me, and he had invited me to look at the script and go into the next one that we were looking at, which one we just did, and it was phenomenal. I loved the writing, it was great, and just being allowed to be a part of that was honestly one of the best parts of my year, being asked like, hey, I want you to be in this part. Nobody can replace you. And I was like, nah, it's not. You could get somebody else. But I loved it, man. It was one of the best things I think I have ever been able to or allowed to do. This film has a special place in my heart. So I guess you could kind of say that I'm like the central character that kind of interacts with all the other side characters, major characters, everybody all around. I'm kind of talking to everybody because I'm schmoozing all the time. Kate and Darby's character were some very interesting folks in this film. Getting to know both of them, and Darby's character being I think Darby's character was pretty interesting to the point where it was like, oh, you want to be part of this? Sweet, I don't gotta worry about it. Hop on aboard, let's go on down the Scotty train and let's get started. Not a care in the world, we're just going at it. But getting involved with Kate's side character was very, very out there. Scotty walking in and finally not getting what he wanted off the bat, getting kind of talked down to a bit, almost being put in his place, where not only does he have to stand there anymore, he's so used to people just walking up wanting him that now he's got to kind of sell himself instead of people selling themselves to him. And having Kate's character do that, kind of go through, really was like, dang, I thought Scotty was like, I can do anything. I'm gonna schmooze my way to the top, and it's working so far. And there's a few people that kind of need to be talked to just a bit. We need to work our way a little bit more. We don't need to forget what we're doing here. Both of those characters are very, very interesting to kind of work with. Both the actresses were very, very well. It was an amazing time spending it with them and kind of acting it out, the scenes, having fun, messing around, even with some meditation and stuff being thrown in during the film was just like, I don't even know. It was really interesting. I say interesting a lot, but it was fantastic being a part of it with all the different little characters and side stories that are kind of happening.
It's been fun to improv some scenes and some comedy. Yeah, it's fun to watch Tristan in action, as well as just the final product. Yeah. So I love my castmates. It's been great. It's been fun to meet new people and then work with people that I've already known as well.
The judges' casting was very important. It was very important. I wanted to make sure that we had an eclectic group of course, everybody knows, everybody can kind of see this is a tongue-in-cheek kind of, American Idol parody. I mean, we weren't really trying to cover that up. But the casting of the judges was very important, and we wanted to make sure that we got 3 separate personalities. So we originally casted some people from school. My friend Danielle was one of the central judges. We had to switch out another one of the judges because he ended up getting sick. But we needed to find a very special Simon Krunkle, and I knew that Mason was the kind of guy who could probably really pull off that role. And I mean, he took it everything, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, he had trash thrown at him, he had cupcakes in the face, pies in the face. I mean, he got everything. So. The panel of judges was a very important portion of the film, and I was very, very lucky to have Mason and have Danielle a part of that. And we gave them a separate little scene for them and Colin to kind of spread their wings a little bit and have a little comedic scene in and of themselves.
Annie was a judge. She was like the nice judge for the talent. The talent contest they had in the film, and she was just really nice, and she was trying to stay positive, like, yo, you sung great, or you did great. And even if the talent didn't do so well, she was still like, oh, it was fine, but you could work on this, So she was just really nice and just try to stay positive, and like person like myself. So yeah.
Well, my name is Mason Guevara, and in the film I play one of the judges, and I also play the, I don't know what you call it, the masked mugger.
John Michael actually just approached me and he said like, hey Danielle, I know like you're new to like the film industry, like in the whatever at UNG, you know, and basically he's like, hey, you haven't worked on the film department at UNG and you haven't worked on a film yet, so you want to work on my film? And I was like, sure, well, might as well, you know, get my foot in the door, have me some opportunity. So I did it. It was great. I loved it.
Well, it initially started out when I had posted online. I was looking for a project to fulfill a class requirement, and I was only supposed to come to one day, and I came to the one day and got really involved with what was going on, and it just kind of one thing led to another, and before long I was, you know, kind of a full-time member of the crew, which was pretty small. I mean, most days it was just me and John Michael, but I mean, we made it work. You know, we worked with what we had. But that gave me a lot of freedom to be creative and to learn a lot, you know, about cinematography and lighting, sound, and, you know, while it's a challenge to like balance all those things, like it really, having that control over my environment like helped me to get, you know, as good of a picture as possible, and, you know, made my job a lot easier in editing.
Oh God. It was very fun working with Ellis and Mason, and they were really fun to work with. And like during that first day when we were judging, I was just like, I don't know who's gonna be my other judges, and I saw Ellis and Mason, I'm like, cool, awesome, and they're actually in my film history 2 class that semester, so it was nice to see them, and a relationship happened out of it, so that was nice. So yeah, I'm actually dating Ellis now, so, and we were very happy together, so yeah. So me and Ellis Treese, who plays the first judge on John Michael's feature, we met. We both had classes together at school, but then we really got to know each other through John Michael's film, working together, and we just, ever since then, we've just been very close. And it was just interesting because no matter like what, we worked on most film sets together. It doesn't matter what film set it was, we'd always end up next to each other. And then we just found out that we've been liking each other the whole semester. We never told anybody because he knew I had a boyfriend. And then, yeah, and then one of my friends came up to me. She's like, hey, you know, Ellis likes you. I'm like, I knew it. And so I told her that I liked him, and yeah, now we're dating. And it's been beautiful, and I love him so much. So yeah.
When we started off, I mean, like I said, there was a crew, you know, the first day at least, and that quickly diminished, and people just, they had other things to do, they had other commitments, and, you know, they didn't want to, you know, take part in a, you know, small town feature film project. And, you know, I still felt that connection, and like, even though it's not the type of film I usually do, you know, I felt like it was a good thing for me, you know, to take part in this and see it through to the end. I mean, I don't like much about him, but other than the fact that I play him, but no. No, he's just your average jerk, you know-it-all judge, you know, that thinks he has an idea of what talent is, and maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong, but, you know. The cast was great. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I got out of this, besides the experience, was the networking opportunity. I got to meet a lot of really talented people that I would go on to work with other projects. A couple of them have, you know, taken interest in a series that I'm directing. And so it's been really great to get to know these people through John Michael, and it's been great to meet some truly talented people outside the scope of, you know, what's familiar to me at my school. And to know that there's some really, like, talented, aspiring actors out there that are willing to work, you know, for nothing, just for the opportunity to be in a film and to be part of something.
Yeah, I mean, I really only worked with, besides, I was with Meg in every scene, and I was a little bit with Tristan, who, of course, is hilarious, and who, his improv is absolutely hilarious, and he was just always on point and had a vision for his character and very much played with it, so that was really fun. It was fun the days that we worked with a few of the judges. I love Alexander, he's a good friend. Amber Sweet, who I didn't have any scenes with, but she's a good friend of mine in real life, so it was also fun to be a part of a similar project with Amber. Yeah.
So for the host, I could think of no other than my friend Colin Oakes. He was another student from school. We were in acting classes together in college, and he's one of the most hilarious, most unique personalities of anybody I've ever seen. He does a lot of radio stuff, so his voice is a key part of his acting, and I just could not imagine anybody else playing Vinny, someone so channeled, someone so professional, but yet someone who could still deliver that dry sense of humor, kind of like during the interviews when he's interviewing Scotty more in particular, just to see the two personalities. You've got Scotty's way over the top kind of feel, and then you've got Vinny's, yeah, okay, I totally get where you're coming from. Not kind of. I thought it was so funny to see the two different personalities kind of play opposite each other in that. And of course the little rivalry going on between Simon and Vinny, I thought was really kind of cool, added a nice little element to the film.
My character, you know, he tries to keep, you know, the peace, I would say, between the contestants and the judges, you know, and he just wants everyone to have a good time, to enjoy themselves. He's an entertainer at heart, and so he likes to root for the contestants, and he wants to see them do well, and he does his best to, you know, hype up the crowd and everything, and he just wants to put on a good time for everybody. Well, you know, there, of course, there's the pie scene where I get to pie my fellow actor in the face. You know, that's just a good scene just to break it up. You know, I also have a couple faux pas there with the names, and I like to do that. And then Tristan's character, man, he's all out, just trying to. He's one of a kind, I'd have to say. It's totally atypical of all the other contestants, which provides a good balance. You know, it's not, you know, just, you know, speaking of the entertaining part, it's not just about the singing. You know, you got to have a good stage presence, and he adds the humor to that, and just, you know, puts on a show for everybody to enjoy. Yes, the pie scene. Well, Mason, who plays Mr. Simon, yes, you know, he volunteered for it. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And so we had two pies, just in case one didn't work. We had a banana cream pie, and then we had a chocolate pie, and the vote was to go banana first, so we can enjoy the chocolate. And so there's a bit of pressure on me not to mess it up, because we didn't want to use that second pie. So, you know, we played it out. You know, we were able to practice, get the right camera angles. We did a couple dry runs with an empty pan. It took a good while to get it down just right, and I think it turned out really well, and Mason played it perfectly. He took it like a champ. Oh man, cast and crew were just absolute professionals. We had Ben, who was, you know, able to set up all the lighting and everything. He was great. We had great camera. You know, Mason did double duty with some of the camera work, and that was just fantastic. And of course the director, John Michael, he was very, you know, accommodating, good coaching. You know, you were able to bounce questions off of him real well, and, you know, just the music, the talent we had with Meg and Corey, yeah, with Meg and Corey. You know, they're just, and the original soundtrack, I mean, all original music, it was very impressive.
super nice people to work with, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Well, I originally got on board when the director, John Michael, you know, he reached out to me. He said, you know, he had a part, and on, you know, my professional experience, I'm in the media, I'm a journalist, and so, you know, it's kind of was good parlay into the character of Vinny. You know, especially with the interview scenes, you know, off stage, that was like second nature to me, no problem with that. And so, you know, John Michael had a part for me. We actually took acting classes together in college, so, you know, he had my contact info. He needed a bit role for me to play, to be the host. And he's like, hey Colin, you know, I got this part for you, what's your availability? I was like, you know what, just tell me when and where, I'd love to do it.